Okay, everybody, welcome to the Power of Light chat. This is going to be a riveting conversation. So cool, the technology that we're going to talk about tonight. So I just want to say welcome to those of you that are joining live, that you're with us this evening, or if you're watching the recording, welcome. We are so happy you are here. We are going to hold questions until the end. So please stay on mute and then you can jump in with those questions at the end. You could add those questions to the chat feature over on the side. And if you are just joining us, let us know where you're joining from. Go ahead and throw that in the chat. We've got people jumping in from all over the country and possibly the world. So we'll see how that goes tonight. I'm just so happy that you're here. So we are just going to jump in and I'm going to share my screen so we can dive into this cool presentation tonight. All right. So I'm going to start the slideshow. Okay, so thumbs up if you guys can see my screen that says powered by light, heal your body with the power of patches. If anybody can give me a yes or a thumbs up, that would be awesome. Great. I see a couple new people joining. Clarkston, Texas. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. You can see my screen. Okay, good. Technology is our friend tonight. All right. So powered by light. Here's my contact information if you guys want to take a picture of the screen. My website is sunnyandholistic.com. I am a natural health therapist pursuing a degree in natural medicine. I am not a doctor, and tonight's information is not medical advice. Tonight's information is merely for educational purposes, and the purpose is to empower you to get curious about your health and seek ways that you can heal your body naturally. So just a little, what do you call it? Um, clinical, technical things we've got to go through real quick. Okay, so on to the next. All right, perfect. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. There we go, so you can see. All right, so the power of light. When we think about light, the sun is probably the first thing we think about. And the sun is a nutrient, right? We get vitamin D from the sun. Our body synthesizes vitamin D. We get all sorts of benefits from the sun. And then you can also think about something like thermal scanning, where we scan the body and we can actually physically see that the body is a heat entity. The body produces heat, the body produces light. And then another proof of light is in the Bible, Genesis 1:3, and God said, "Let there be light." So, just for fun, throw in the chat, if you would, what other light sources can you think of? We'll take a minute if you guys want to participate in this interactive part. What is light to you? So, go ahead and throw in the chat if you can think of anything that's light. And I'll see if anybody's joining with their answers. Fire is light. I love that. Yep, fire is light. Beautiful. Green veggies absorb light. That's fun. We've got all this light around us, right? And light always wins. Light always overpowers dark. Good. Okay, perfect. I so appreciate that participation. Okay, back to the share. And we will go to the presentation. There we go. And slideshow. Okay, so we talked about light and some other sources of light. Okay, so the flow of the presentation tonight is my testimony. I'm going to share my testimony first. Then we're going to talk about what is phototherapy, what are X39 patches, how do they work, the benefits, and then we're going to share some super cool, super short videos from friends of mine, family, clients, other humans that have used the patches that and the technology that are reaping really amazing benefits. So my testimony is where I want to start. And the reason that I am hosting this Zoom tonight, this conversation, is because it is exceptionally important to me that anything I share with the world and with you is from integrity and is from a place that I have tried the product, I have tried the technology, and I have seen with my own eyes that it works. And that's really important to me. And when I first heard about LifeWave patches or X39 patches, I was a little skeptical because I didn't know about phototherapy. And I think it's very easy to be skeptical of things we don't know a lot about. So, my goal tonight is to teach you about phototherapy and educate you so you can make an informed decision on your own. So, about 14 months ago, I started on LifeWave patches. And after doing my own research and kind of sitting on it for a while, and the patches themselves go right at the top of your spine on your C7 meridians, if you guys can kind of see on the screen, that's where the X39 patches go. And so every day I put it on, I wear it for 12 hours, and then I take it off for 12 hours. So the cycle of the patch is 12 hours on and 12 hours off. And we'll talk about that later. So why I decided to go on the patch is I have been on this very long health journey. And that is what healing is. It's a journey, right? It's not supposed to be a quick fix. And we do live in a very quick fix world. So I would say for about the past 2 years, I'm going to show you guys some pictures. And to kind of give you an idea. So for the past 2 to 2.5 years, I have done some pretty significant things. You can see on the left-hand side the voltage and the current of my teeth. I had mercury fillings in my mouth, and my heavy metal toxicity was in the red. So when we do a scan of the hand, it's called an oligo scan, or you can do hair tissue analysis to see what your heavy metals are. It will tell you what your aluminum, your mercury, your silver, all these metals in your body. And the goal is to be in balance, right? So when we see that our heavy metals are out of balance, we go, uh-oh, what can I do to get my body back in balance? And so I went to a biological dentist and I was able to see the voltage and current of my teeth. I was able to talk to a biological dentist about the importance of getting my fillings out. And I did it in a very smart way. You never want to just go to the dentist, have them drill them out because mercury produces vapors, and vapors can get into the organs, the tissues, everywhere in the body. The body is very smart, and the body wants to get the heavy metals out, so it will push them into the peripheral tissues. Now, I mentioned that because you can see my feet and my hands. So I got the metal out, and as part of my detox, my body was pushing the metal out through my skin. And I had to do some binders, some chelation. I used chlorophyll, I used charcoal, and I used a product called HM Protect. And then I also used a product called Zeolite. And so I was pushing the heavy metals out of my body. And this was the start, one of the starts of healing my body. And the patches came along at a time where they were able to help me facilitate that healing. And I like to think of the patches as a hammock. They're a hammock that helps as you're on your healing journey, whether you're healing Hashimoto's or you are healing autoimmune diseases or Lyme or whatever it is you're trying to bring back into balance in your body. The patches are a hammock to help you do that. So the heavy metal detox was a big part of my journey. I also did some liver cleansing and some parasite cleansing. And the X39 patches, I believe, helped me with what we call Herxheimer's responses. So drop in the chat if you've ever done a liver cleanse or a parasite cleanse. And if you've done one, it's possible that you've had headaches or stomach upset or some things that happen when we cleanse the body. And a lot of reasons that happen, one of the reasons that happens is because we're not doing the 3 Ps. We don't have our pooping, peeing, or perspiring. And those 3 Ps, those channels of elimination need to be open in order to cleanse the body. So if you've ever done a liver cleanse or a parasite cleanse, it's really important to make sure that you are eliminating. And so we can get different responses from that as well. And the patches are instrumental in being a buddy and an ally to that as well. And then another part of my journey was using food as nourishment and fuel and really changing the way I ate because food is medicine. Proper hydration, filtered water, using minerals, and then prayer was another part of my healing journey. And then the last little thing I wrote there is eliminating all over the counter medications. And my family with the help of LifeWave patches, has been able to eliminate out of our cupboard all over-the-counter medication. So we do not have any cold medicines. We do not have any Tylenol. We do not have any pharmaceuticals. And please know that me saying that doesn't mean that means we just stop all over the counter medications or you stop your medicine right away. You need to do that hand in hand with a certified practitioner or a doctor. But in my journey in using the X39 patches, detoxing my body, eliminating, changing the way I ate, hydrating, all of these factors, I'm able to be pharmaceutical free. And my family uses homeopathics, herbs, and other remedies to keep the terrain of our body healthy. And so that is also crucially important. So I wanted to give my testimony of how I've used the patches and just make it very clear that I have used the patches in conjunction with my journey of healing my body from heavy metals, remineralizing my body, and getting myself to a place where everything is in balance. Okay, so if you have any questions about my journey, my story, or anything I said, please type them in the chat or jot them down, and we'll get to that at the end. Also, at the end, I will share with you what products I used for my heavy metal detox and parasite cleanse, and any other supplements or products you want to know about. So, what is phototherapy? Okay. Oh, we'll come back to that. Okay. So, phototherapy, understanding the science. The science of phototherapy, which has been around for about 100 years, uses light to improve the health of the body. As far back as 2,000 years ago, the ancient Greeks had a center for studying the effects of different colored light in the body. Even the ancient Egyptians, who promoted health by focusing sunlight through colored glass on certain areas of the body, understood this concept. So, phototherapy has been around a long time. How does it work? Your body emits heat, right? We talked about that in the very beginning. I showed you that infrared image. We talked about the sun. We talked about the body being a light entity. We talked about even veggies emitting light. So the body emits heat, including heat in the infrared spectrum. LifeWave patches are designed to trap this infrared energy when placed on the body, which causes them to reflect back to stimulate specific points on the skin that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each patch. So you can see in this picture, I'm wearing a patch and I'm pointing to the C7, which is the spot you put it on your spine. And I'll hold it up to the screen so you can see the size of it. The patch itself has amino acids and peptides in the patch that reflect back into the body to do what they need to do. So that's a little bit about how phototherapy works. It is a proprietary form of phototherapy, a patented nanocrystal technology. So this is a matrix of nanotechnology. It reflects light back to activate. It's non-transdermal, which means it does not put anything in the skin. Something that is transdermal would be like nicotine patches. Nicotine patches put nicotine in the body, whereas these are non-transdermal. Nothing is going in the skin, which means they're safe for all of us. They don't have any contraindications. No drugs, chemicals, or stimulants, and they are non-invasive. How to wear them? You wear them 12 hours on and 12 hours off to repair and rejuvenate. Then you throw the patch away. You put a new patch on and repeat, and you can wear them more than one at a time. There are other patches. They have X49, carnosine, glutathione. They have a bunch of other patches, but I always recommend people start with the X39 and go from there. And then drinking plenty of water is very important too, because we are cellular beings and we need to make sure that everything is flowing. And actually, that is one of the slides that I missed, and I want to show you guys. This is super cool. Okay, this is my blood. I went and did a live blood analysis. I got my finger poked, and this is what my blood looks like under a microscope. And what you want to see is that your blood is spread out. So the little bubble looking on the screen is my red blood cells. And the white glowy ones that look like a little smiley face or an earth are my white blood cells. And your white blood cells go and eat up the pathogens or anything in the body that's foreign. And then those red blood cells, you don't want them to stick together. You want them to flow, which is why hydration is super important and why it's also important when you're patching so that the body can do what the body needs to do. So I wanted to throw that in there to show you. Okay, so what else does this stem cell or what else does this little patch do? Well, it activates stem cells. Stem cells are the master cells and building blocks of the entire body. It's their job to naturally repair and renew. Stem cells are found throughout the body in various tissues and organs, and they replenish dying cells and regenerate damaged tissue by entering the bloodstream where they migrate to areas that are needed most to repair and renew. Here's the problem. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. Well, we all age, and actually, aging is a gift, so I would change this slide. However, we can age gracefully. The fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. By age 30, only half of your stem cells are active, which I think that's the fact. The point that I took away from this was by age 30, your stem cells start to go dormant. And that's where these patches come in to help activate those dormant stem cells by using phototherapy, which you guys just learned about. By age 60, you will lose almost all of your stem cell activity. Okay, so wearing this little patch, this X39 patch, here's a few things that happen. Within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, decreasing symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, wrinkles, hair growth, structural integrity. Within 6 months, reversing of heart reverses in age. And in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after using X39 patches for 6 months. So I do want to say, and I say this to all my lovies, all my clients, all my friends, all my family, this is a journey. This is not a quick fix. And so wearing this patch for 6 months, being on a mineral journey or a detox journey or a cleansing journey for 6 months, we can't undo a lifetime of damage overnight. It's going to take time, okay? And how cool to see after 1 month you're feeling better. After 3 months, your reports at the doctor start to look a little different. After 6 months, you just have incredible results or you have more energy. So it takes time. You have to be patient with this. There is such thing as a one patch wonder. We call those one patch wonders where they instantly feel the results. And there are some of those people out there, but it's not all that common. Okay, so benefits of X39, we've got increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle, skeletal. There's all these benefits. Sleep, my goodness, how many of us struggle with sleep? Improved skin appearance. And we're going to share some true testimonials of actual videos that were sent in at the end. So we're getting there. This is the founder, David Schmidt. He was the inventor. He has over 180 patents. He's a scientist and an inventor, really amazing human that puts God first and is really passionate about sharing this technology. In 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, and the X39 patent took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to the market. What I think is so cool is that we talk about the thousands of dollars that it takes to go get stem cell therapy, right? And there's a lot of really cool research going on about stem cell therapy, but it's very expensive. And activating your own stem cells with this patch is like, why wouldn't you do it? Is kind of how I feel about it. Such a cool, cool thing. Here's the patent number if you want to do your research yourself. So you can go ahead and look into that. I can also send it to you if you'd like. Here are some people using the patches. David Beckham, Michael Phelps, some other famous people that I don't know their names are using these patches, but lots of people are using them. So, and lots of really amazing results. Okay, this is important to address. The X39 patch, the matrix of the patch, is made up of something called GHKCU. And I thought it was important tonight to tell you what the heck is GHKCU. G is glycine, H is histidine, and KCU is copper. Glycine, histidine, and copper, which are amino acids that the body produces and doesn't produce. So your body produces amino acids, but then there's also essential amino acids that we need to get. So what are the benefits of glycine, histidine, and copper? What are the benefits of this specific matrix? Well, you can see here there's a bunch of them. activates stem cells, reduces inflammation, cardiovascular health, collagen, nerves, hair growth, lungs, mood, anxiety, memory, sleep, emotions, balance. There's so many things. Wound healing. Um, so I felt that you needed to know what glycine, histidine, and copper do. So just these little images here. Glycine helps with um, hemorrhagic shock, metabolic recovery, genetic stability, tissue repair. There's a bunch of things on here. Decreased necrosis, ulcers, protects against neuronal death, lung injury decrease. What does histidine do? Histidine has benefits of preventing cataracts, lowering blood pressure, antifungal properties, combating anemia, protecting cells. Sources of histidine are meat, spirulina, eggs, dairy, and soybeans, as long as they're GMO and organic. Copper, what the heck does copper do? Well, the health benefits of copper are red blood cells, immune system, bone health, lowering cholesterol, and brain function. But if our copper is in an imbalance, we can also have copper toxicity, which is going to push out our zinc. So that's something really cool that I've learned in my journey is that every heavy metal and mineral have a relationship. So aluminum pushes out silica. Too much copper pushes out zinc. Okay. So everything has a relationship. So we want everything to be in balance. That's the goal. So GHKCU, you're getting this that's activated in the patch by your own heat. The light in your body is activating this to have benefits within the body. And I want to say, does that make sense? So give me a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense, and also save your questions for the end. Okay, there's a website called thisisitinfo.com/testimonies. Go ahead and take a picture of the screen if you'd like. These are some ways the patches are helping people. Neuropathy, children, immune system, bladder improvement, weight loss, inflammation, hearing. And the cool thing about this is you can click. You can go through and click on these in your own time. Okay, we talked a little bit about thermography. This is a 77-year-old woman. She placed the X39 on the back of her neck. Session 1, she had inflammation in the brain. She didn't have a patch on. You can see all the red, very little stem cell activity, lack of brain coherence. Session 2, 3 weeks on X39. You can see all the red is gone. Session 3, 6 weeks on X39, complete turnaround. She improved her stem cell activity, better brain coherence. As you age, the stem cells in your organs, including brain, heart, liver, lungs, and kidney and skin, go dormant. So this is just a fun visual, if you're a visual learner, to see how X39 decreases inflammation and improves brain activity. Here's another before and after. A really fun example too that I don't have on here is breast thermography. So an alternative to mammograms is breast thermography to see the inflammation in the breasts, which I guess this kind of shows, but it is a male. So you can go down the whole research trail of thermography, and it's pretty cool. So this is another example. This is just kind of a fun one. This gentleman, within less than a year, you can see all the gray is gone out of his beard. And you guys will hear a video at the end from a gal that shared her testimony about her gray hair reversing, and I actually know her. So I can speak and say it's true. So that's kind of fun. X39 on the left, you can see varicose veins within 2 months, last 7 weeks. Within 7 weeks, those varicose veins were reduced. On the right, after 30 days of X39 patching, look at that woman's varicose veins. Wow, super cool. And do you notice where she put the patches? So that's another thing. If you've got an issue in the tissue, you can put the patches where you need them. I like that. We're going to write that down. If you have an issue in the tissue, you can patch where you need it. CPAP, check out the CPAP results from May 2023 to January 2024. This woman on the far right, no more glasses. Her readers went down. Down below, after 1 month of patching with the feet, it looks like maybe some eczema or psoriasis. All these benefits. This woman on the left went from gray to dark hair. These people on the right had scarring, burns, bruising that after 3 days of patching had significant results. So that's pretty cool. This woman within 11 months basically healed her hypothyroidism. She was on Synthroid, lisinopril, high blood pressure, Lasix, Metapropyl, um, albuterol, all of these medications. She had pain. I mean, just all of these things. And she was able to heal her body and get off them using the patches. So, pretty cool. 30 years ago, accident with a sledgehammer. Ouch. Healed his thumb. This gentleman's another one that got his hair back. Scarring. C-section mamas. My C-section mamas out there, this would be great for you. A horse. They have horse patches. I did actually order the horse patches for my dogs. I have two senior dogs, and we use them on my two dogs, age 17. God bless her. My sweet Chloe is 17, and my Calvin is 12. And I patch their collars, and I'll put them so that the patch is facing here. I kind of just tape it to the back. So they've got horse patches. Now, how X39 helped a 16-year-old with autism. You're going to hear a story from a mom tonight. Her two children both have autism, and I'm working with her hand in hand. And just let me say, there is no one path to healing anything. So, what this mama and I used to help her children, is just the path that works for them. However, it may inspire you to get curious about some tools. And heavy metal toxicity has a lot to do with autism in research. You will find that. And the X39 patch is supportive of activating those dormant stem cells and bringing back balance to the body as you detox from those heavy metals, as you rebalance the gut, as you reframe the microbiome, and whatever the cause of the inflammation in the brain was, the patch helps with that. So just to kind of preface. Let's see, more miracles. I cried like a baby when my husband yelled to me from the bathroom. He has Parkinson's. He made me watch while he brushed his teeth. He was never able to do this before. I mean, what a win, right? Migraine testimony, X39 has helped with migraines. The potential of the stem cell industry is becoming more popular. People are realizing the importance of healthy stem cells. There's a lot of research going into it. So I want to go back to the beginning before we actually talk about how to get the patches. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to play a video for you. I'm going to click on this video of this mama sharing about her kids with autism. And I wrote in little small letters here some things you need to know. These kiddos had high aluminum and low silica. Silica gets kicked out. If aluminum is high, it kicks out silica. This kiddo had low magnesium, low vitamin D, and the protocol to help these children heal included the X39 patches daily. And we did the patching 2 weeks before introducing anything else. And we saw results just with the patches alone. And then we added Smidge probiotics, Brain MD Kids Neurovite with GABA, a GABA Pro chewable, and we added zeolite, which is a heavy metal binder. Every case is different, and this information is strictly for educational purposes. You have to look at the individual. You have to look at where they're out of balance. That's really important. And gut health is critical. Gut health is critical. So I'm going to share this video. I'm going to click.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Poling, and I want to share in this short clip what a blessing it's been to work with Allie. I have two children that have been diagnosed with autism. My son is 5 years old, and he is nonverbal. My daughter is 3. Now, before the X39 patches, my children were all over the place. My son, every morning, he would wake up extremely hyper and a lot of times very emotional, just started crying. And again, he's nonverbal, so I wasn't sure what was the reason why. And that was really, really hard. A lot of times I just didn't know how he would wake up. And that thought was always like overwhelming. Now I don't have to worry about that because he wakes up every day with a great attitude and he is enjoying himself. He wakes up and it takes him probably like 15 minutes to get out of bed. He has a little routine going on where he grabs his toys, he brings them to the couch, and then he's playing on the couch with his toys, quiet. He's waiting for his breakfast. And when he sees his breakfast is ready, he goes to the table and he sits on the chair and sits down and eats his food and he's sitting there and it's amazing. My son could never do that before. My son was always running, always on the go. His body was extremely overwhelmed. Now you can tell how calm he is, how much he's engaging, how much he's connecting. He is so aware of his surroundings. He's aware of his schedule, of what he's doing. My son is in kindergarten in general education, and he's severely autistic. He's nonverbal, and he is doing amazing in school. I have so much hope. I'm so encouraged. Um, I've seen miracles through my children. My daughter wasn't talking before the X-ray night patches. Now my daughter is requesting what she wants to eat. She tells me when she wants to take a bath. She tells me how much she enjoys going to school and how she loves to ride the bus. It is an answer of a prayer, and I'm so excited and so encouraged. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, let me get out of here. Okay, I'm going to pause there for a second. And I'm going to come back and share two more stories with you guys. Isn't that just incredible? I mean, isn't that the most incredible thing? Um, Can you guys give me a thumbs up in the chat if you heard that okay? Because I didn't check in with you before. Were you guys able to hear Anna's testimonial? Okay. Okay, good. I'm seeing hearts. Perfect. And the cool thing is, too, you guys are going to get a replay of this. So you'll be able to share this with friends and family and get a replay. So, okay, beautiful. So let's go back and I'm going to play another story for you. So let's go into the presentation and I'm going to play my next story for you. This one, I'm not going to be able to do full screen. Oh yeah, I am. I take that back. Perfect. All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. Sad I couldn't be with you today during Allie's presentation, but I wanted to come on and give a testimonial. My name is Rochelle Beasley, and I started using the patches at the end of March this year for a few different health concerns. And the thing that I have noticed, like, not even noticed, I didn't even notice. Somebody pointed it out to me. I got a blowout done a couple weeks ago, and as you can see, I don't color my hair. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes with the light, but I don't color my hair. And the woman blowing out my hair, she was like, "Are you plucking your grays?" And I was like, "Obviously not. No, why? Why are you saying that?" And she's like, "Because you have all of this new hair growth." And I went through a couple different phases over the last 7 years where I had hair loss, whether it was due to stress or sickness, whatever it was. And I've probably lost about 30% of my hair. And so for me, that was like huge because it was something that definitely caused me stress a little bit. Like I didn't know, I'd never dealt with it before. I didn't know how to fix it. And the first thing I thought of was the patches because I hadn't changed too much in my lifestyle for there to be any other significant difference or effect, if you will, on hair growth. And so I just wanted to share that because it's something that just happened and I couldn't be there with you today. So wanted to make sure that I made a video for my testimonial. I've been, how many months is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 months. And I've been pretty consistent. I would say about 85% consistent with the patches and I'm finally starting to see results. So if it's something like some people see results a lot faster, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I'm dealing with a couple different things, but this is the first thing that I've seen that has had such a profound effect. So I hope that helps in your decision. The patches are incredible, they're super easy to wear, and I'm really excited to see what else happens once I keep wearing the patches. Hello, everyone. Sad I couldn't be with you today during Allie's presentation, but I wanted to come on.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So how fun. I love these stories. Let me get back to you guys. Are you there? Uh-oh. Where'd you guys go? Oh, there you are. Okay, it was like, uh-oh, technology, technology. Oh, I appreciate you guys giving me the hearts. Okay, perfect. So, oh my goodness. All right, so that's a fun one. And one thing I wanted to mention about the hair growth, I actually noticed the same thing. I had these little like baby hairs coming in, and if you have family members that have had chemo or lost their hair or hormonal hair loss, this little patch may be a really good friend to them. So we have one more story to share. So let me share this final time. We're going to go back to the presentation and find the final story. This one's on Lyme. And thank you for bearing with me. Here we go. I'm going to make it full screen. I love when technology works. Thank you so much. All right, here we go.
I have been patching for almost 3 months. I am not completely perfect with putting them on every day because life can be lifing and I just forget and, just pick up where I left off the next day. I can honestly say that in the last 6 months that I've been working with Allie, I have made tremendous strides in my health journey. I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease 8 years ago. And between the patches and all of the other lifestyle changes I have made, along with the cleanse that I do with the Cleanse Club, currently doing round 2 of a parasite cleanse, I feel so much better. My biggest complaint has been my fatigue, and I've never been able to get to the root of it. And I am feeling the best I have felt in years. I hope this helps you all on your journey. Hey, Allie and friends.
Okay. So that is the final video share. And each of these stories, you guys, represents hundreds of others. So tonight, just on tonight's Zoom, us being together, you get to witness 3 live stories and then the other examples that we shared. But I know in my heart that as this continues forward, I'll be able to share more and more stories with you. And my prayer and my hope is that you are one of those stories and that your body can heal and come back into balance and you can start sleeping better. And whatever issue you have, that we can work through it with the patches as an ally. So the last thing I want to talk to you about before we open it up for questions is the price, because that's important for you guys to know. So we'll come right back to the slide and we will talk about the price, and then I will stop sharing once again and we will get to Q&A. Okay, so here's where I started out. I started with the 3 months. So right here on the left, 3 sleeves of X39. I thought I brought up here. Let me show you this. This is what the sleeves look like. So it comes like this. So 3 of these is $295 and it gives you 90 patches. And you wear them 12 hours on and then you take it off and you throw it away or you stick it on your dog. Um, and then you put it on 12 hours. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. 12 hours on, 12 hours off, making sure you're sufficiently hydrated. So that's what I started with because you don't want to do this for less than 3 months. In fact, you want to do it for 1 month of every decade you are. So if you're 60, don't do it any less than 6 months, is what the recommendation is. If you want to start with 6 sleeves for $535, that'll give you 6 months. And then the 20 sleeves is the $1,750. The 20 sleeves is a really great business opportunity. So if you were all in on the patches and you wanted to share them with friends, family, clients, and you actually wanted to start selling the patches, that would be a good opportunity for you as well. Tonight's call, the purpose of tonight's call is not to talk to you about the business side, but there is a business side. So if you're looking for a business opportunity, what I can tell you is that when you purchase the patches using the core package, anybody that friends and family that purchase the patches underneath you, you will get a kickback from that. So, just so you're aware of that, there's another option, and the other option is to just buy 1 month. So if you wanted to not start with 3 months, you wanted to just start with 1 month, it's $99 if you do auto ship. So I just want you to be aware of that. And down here, lifewave.com/Allie Long is how you order patches under me. You would click join to do the 3 month, 6 month, or 20 sleeves. And then you would click shop if you wanted to just buy the 1 month. And I will hold your hand through all of that. You don't have to remember any of that. This link on the right, Linktree Sunny Side Up Wellness, is where all of my links are for heavy metal detoxing, parasite cleansing. Anything that I mentioned today is there. So any supplements I mentioned, and I'll open it up for Q&A there, but I just wanted you to be aware. The LifeWave link is to order patches, and then the Linktree link is to see the other things that we talked about today. Okay, so stop share. And all right, that concludes my presentation. I'm super proud of myself for not going over time. And this is where we will open up for Q&A. So if you have a question, I will ask you now to come off of mute and go ahead and ask your question.
I have a question, Allie.
Beautiful, bring it.
So, in the past, I've been diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and I know that when I manage it with diet, I'm so much better.
Mhm.
But I am 59 this year, so that whole stem cell stopping to work at age 60 really got my attention. So, what would you recommend with this postmenopausal? I'm sure I probably just need to have an appointment with you so you could do a scan on my hand and then tell me, because I'm sure I have mercury. I'm a child of the 60s, so for sure. But
Yeah.
I guess my question is, do I start with 2 months or 3 months, or do I do 6 months? Like, what's the story here?
Yeah. So, okay, first of all, so many good questions. So your stem cells start to go dormant at age 30.
Oh,
So, yeah, at age 30, just to
along
clarify.
with my ovaries at the same time, apparently.
Hold on, let me figure out here. I don't want to keep you pinned the whole time, even though we want to see your beautiful face. Um, Okay, so stem cells start to go dormant at age 30. So as we're approaching perimenopause, right, 40s, 50s, and we start to get into menopause, we start to be super symptomatic. Sleep goes down the pooper, energy, hormone disturbance, everything that comes along with that. So the patch itself, 100%, I would recommend to anybody experiencing any of that. And Melinda, to your point, I don't foresee you on the patches less than 6 months. But if you want to start with the 3 month pack and just start there, that's a really great place to start. That's where I started. But if you know you're going to be on them the 6 months and you've got the budget to just jump in and do it because it's a commitment. You've made that commitment and you know it's going to help balance you. Now, to answer your question about your scan, your heavy metals, your minerals, most definitely, I would encourage you to do that. I have something in my office called the Oligo scan, and it scans into the tissue to see your bioaccumulation of heavy metals and what minerals you're deficient in, what vitamins you're deficient in. So it'll give us like a bigger snapshot. So I think both of those things are true. And then also, so you know, things like excess fluoride can can cause havoc in the body, excess mercury, excess aluminum. And with Hashimoto's, when the thyroid is compromised, oftentimes it is a heavy metal toxicity, not always, but if there is a heavy metal toxicity component and we could chelate and detox the body of heavy metals, would we see your Hashimoto's leave, be gone, never again? And then would the patches help balance as you're going through that journey in case you had any, symptoms of getting the heavy metals out of your body or parasites or whatever was gunking up your system, right? So it's a nice hammock. It's a nice ally. So I think everything is true in that statement. There's no like easy right answer, but it's a path. So did that make sense? Did that answer it?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're welcome. And also to answer anybody that's listening virtually, if you can't come to my office to get scanned, you can go to aligoscan.com, I believe, and find the scan closest to you, or you can order a hair tissue analysis to see what your heavy metals are. But reach out to me if I can point you in the right direction, give you links. My email is bornsunnyside@gmail.com, bornsunnyside@gmail.com. So I can assist you with that. But amazing question, sister. Did you have any other questions?
Me?
Yeah,
No, I'm just glad to
you.
be here. Thank you.
Good. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Okay, what about some other questions? Anyone else in the hot seat? Michelle.
Hi, I have a question.
Here.
So I came to this webinar with a thought of my mother in mind for this. But I'm curious, she probably would not be open to all the other detoxing and that kind of thing. But do you think that it's possible that it would still help, like the neuropathy and that kind of thing that she's been experiencing? I know you're not a doctor, but I'm just curious if it would kind of alleviate some of the problems that she's having. So maybe we could get away from some of the pharmaceuticals that she's on.
I think absolutely to answer your question. So Oh, look, we can pin together. Beautiful. I like that even more. And look at that sweet face. Hi, Cora. The answer to your question is yes. I have clients, friends, and family that don't do the detoxing. That was just my journey. So I'm so glad you brought that up because so many people listening to this are going to say, well, can I just patch? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I would say with neuropathy, we could start with the patch on the C7, but we could also play around with the patch, possibly being, is it in her feet? Where's the neuropathy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. And
so
her
we could
feet.
also play around with patching the feet, patching the ankles, patching near the neuropathy.
Great.
And absolutely, absolutely, she could do it without all the detoxing.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Go ahead and bring yourself off mute. I'll check the chat as well. Okay, I see a question in the chat. Should I do patches after a liver cleanse or at the same time? Both. Both. You can absolutely patch during a liver cleanse to support the journey, and then you can patch after a liver cleanse to help boost glutathione because the patches will help boost glutathione. You can also place, I would recommend if you're doing a liver cleanse, you could place the patch under your belly button. So that's another marker. So wherever your belly button is, go about 2 fingers down and you can place the patch there, or you could place the patch over your liver to support healing and detox. So I will say, depending on the individual, because I have had people patch during liver cleanses with the Cleanse Club, the patch was too much for some people liver cleansing, and they were doing the patch and castor oil packs and detoxing, and that was too much for the body. So you have to know your body and be mindful of that. So if you purchase the patches and you do a liver cleanse and it feels like it's too much, pull back on the patches, finish your liver cleanse, and then go back on them. That's what I would recommend. Again, not doctor advice, just experience of what I've seen. Beautiful question. Thank you. All right. I don't see any more questions in the chat. So if anyone wants to come off of mute, I'm here to answer. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more questions, thank you for being here. The link to order is lifewave.com/Allie Long. and I will send that out in an email. If you are not on my email list and you are not receiving my emails, please go right now, send me an email to bornsunnyside@gmail.com and say, Allie, please send me a recording of this presentation. Please send me a link to the patches, whatever it is you desire or need. Just go ahead and send me that email right now. And I would love to do this again. I would love to plan another call like this with additional stories, maybe even your stories. And in the meantime, we can follow each other. I am Sunnyside Up Wellness, LLC, on Instagram. And if you live in the Milford, Michigan area or anywhere in Michigan and you want to travel to see me, I am a natural health therapist and soon to be practitioner, and would love to help you on your journey. So thank you for being here tonight. So grateful you made it. For those of you listening to the replay, reach out. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the sun. Goodbye.